So this blog is all about maintaining your vehicle in Florida. If you've just moved to Florida, welcome. You'll need to become accustomed to the climate. The same is true for your car. You're going to have to change your thinking and adopt kind of some different care and maintenance schedules concerning your vehicle because of the climate in Florida. If you open your vehicle's manual, you'll usually find two different maintenance schedules, and one is for like normal driving conditions and the other for severe driving conditions. Many wouldn't necessarily think of Florida as a place with severe driving conditions. We don't have icy, cold temperatures or the requirement for snow tires. What we do have, however, is extreme heat and moisture. And we have rain 6 months out of the year and an intense heat during the summer and spring and in the fall. So it impacts your vehicle in many ways. In less severe climates, many vehicle owners will put off having vehicles maintained. It's just not important, or I'll take care of those things that are needed, later and not right now. However, if you want to keep your car on the road in Florida, you'll need to make regular vehicle checks or maintenance a priority. What's affected? Like what can happen? So which of your vehicle systems are affected in this climate? The answer, every one of them. Fluids, oil. Many manufacturers recommend oil changes every 10,000 miles. If an oil change is not performed regularly, moisture and heat conditions can cause more wear and tear on your engine. Transmission fluid. When the temperature is 110 and your transmission is operating in its full temperature, your transmission fluid cannot cool the transmission fast enough to keep it at normal operating temperature. Transmission breakdowns happen more quickly with heat. Before I came to Florida, I had an auto repair shop in New Hampshire, and I never saw the number of transmission failures and issues that I've seen here. The cost of preventative maintenance for a transmission, such as like fluid replacement, is undoubtedly worth it versus paying $7,000 to $12,000 for a new transmission. We also have antifreeze, and antifreeze breaks down in heat as well. While you're not worried here about freezing, we are concerned about cooling, and antifreeze also helps the cooling of the engine if it's 110 out. And if your engine is running at 180 degrees, wow, there's a lot of stop and go driving and not a lot of air flowing through the radiator, and having coolant antifreeze that has broken down and needs replaced can add premature wear and tear on the vehicle by not allowing the car to cool properly. So then we've got brake fluid. So that's the fluid that you use to operate your brakes. It's hygroscopic, which means it absorbs moisture. When it does, it can damage the automatic braking system. It causes rust and corrosion within the automatic portion of your brakes, and that can prevent adequate braking. So that's another thing that needs to be done on a regular basis in Florida. Although brake fluid is usually replaced based on mileage, in Florida, I would recommend that you have your fluid regularly tested. At Legendary Automotive, as part of our complimentary inspection, we not only look at the conditions of fluid, but we actually test it with a test strip to make sure that it is good. Typically, a brake job is a great time also to do a brake fluid flush, in which unhealthy brake fluid is replaced with the fresh fluid. So usually it's about every 2 years or so that the brake fluid should be flushed in this climate. That's what we have found. So rubber items here in the heat, well, they also affects the timing belts and other belts that are made of rubber, your tires. It's been our experience that rubber tends to deteriorate faster in Florida than in other climates. And because of the extreme heat, tires wear out much faster. They can start to crack and rot, similar to the belt or any other rubber component. So then we have windshield wiper blades. They take more punishment here because they bake in the sun. They should be changed every 3 months instead of the usual 6 months required in other climates. So then we have the battery. So a battery could last 7 years in a cooler climate. That's what I had seen before. When I came down here, it was like every 2 years, 3 years. I'm like, it's crazy. But the average battery life could be 2 years. If you leave your car for 6 months out of the year, it could be even shorter. So the battery life becomes less and less. So yes, Florida is a severe service climate. If you live in Florida, You need to stop thinking about servicing your car in terms of regular service and start thinking of it as a severe service area that requires greater maintenance. Unfortunately, many auto shops in Florida think in terms of normal service. They're not looking at it in terms of the severe climate we're living in. And therefore, they don't make recommendations based on a severe climate. And people think that they're taking care of everything that they should be taking care of until suddenly they need a new transmission, $7,000, $12,000, right? So a whole section of the Florida population is also only here seasonally. But those cars need special maintenance too. For vehicles driven at slow speeds or not driven much, the engine needs to heat up to a level where, moisture is baked out of different systems. The belts and the fluids deteriorate faster. So make sure you're doing it right. And really the easiest thing is how can you ensure that you're taking proper care of your vehicle in a severe service climate like we are in Florida? Number one, open up your vehicle's manual and actually look at the severe maintenance schedule and follow the service maintenance schedule. Number two, make sure to have your car serviced at an auto repair shop that conducts a full inspection and looks at the condition of all the fluids, the battery, the brakes, the belts, so that you can take regular maintenance and get it taken care of instead of waiting for something to fail and require a costly repair. Number three, so I would recommend a comprehensive digital inspection like the ones we provide here at Legendary Automotive, where we're testing many aspects of your vehicle's performance as well as fluid samples. And this way you can actually see what's going on with your vehicle and make an informed decision. Today you hear a lot about preventative maintenance in healthcare, taking measures that prevent illness. It's the same thing with our vehicles. If we practice preventative maintenance with our cars, we'll avoid so many serious issues down the road. And things are not getting cheaper these days, so it makes sense, especially if you're in a place like this, to maintain your vehicle according to the environment in which we live. If you like this blog, please check out our other blogs for more irresistible and valuable information on vehicles and on our automotive repair shop. If my words have inspired you, you'll love the service that we provide at Legendary Automotive. Thank you.